VHS Franchise. The VHS franchise concept was originally written and produced by Brad Miska, a key figure in the horror film industry. Miska, working with a number of filmmakers, was greatly influenced by horror producer Roxanne Benjamin, who was the founder of the Bloody Disgusting Selects film distribution label. Together, they developed the idea for the general plot of VHS. The concept of the series revolves around many VHS tapes, a nod to the era of analog horror, consisting of disturbing footage discovered by viewers, and how the tapes influence those individuals paranormally. Each film in the franchise, which is primarily a standalone piece consisting of anthology episodes made by different groups of filmmakers and actors, shares a common fictitious antagonist that serves as the sinister behind the videos in the films. As anthologies, most of the stories and cast appear only once in each episode of each installment. Soon after the release of its first part, the franchise became infamous for inflicting fear in its audience and for being of utmost authenticity. The franchise remains one of the best in its genre, with a high fan following. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. VHS Franchise. What's it all about? Before we delve into VHS Beyond, let's dive deep into the previous installments of the VHS franchise. The franchise released its first installment, VHS, in 2012. The first installment was officially selected for screening at the renowned Sundance Film Festival of 2012. Even though the first part received mixed reviews, it attracted a considerable amount of attention for using original footage and succeeded financially. The first installment was followed by 5 more installments and 2 spin-offs in the franchise. The VHS franchise includes a long row of brilliant creators like Adam Wingard, Ty West, Simon Barrett, Timo Jahanto, Joe Swanberg, Josh Goldblum, James Harris, and more. The showrunners have announced the highly anticipated next part in the franchise, VHS Beyond, which is set to hit streaming platforms this year. Get ready to be thrilled. Each film in the franchise consists of anthology episodes with the same frame narrative. Even though each film was produced by Brad Miska, each episode was executed by different directors and cast. Even though the franchise shares similarities with the famous sci-fi anthology Black Mirror, it succeeds in being grittier than any other fiction out there of its own genre. The first part of the franchise, with 6 episodes, took over the internet within a short period of time. In the 5th episode, the sick thing that happened to Emily when she was younger stands out from the rest with a gory climax. The VHS 2012 revolves around a gang of criminals breaking into a house to obtain a particular VHS tape. Inside the house, they learn that the old guy who owned the property died while viewing those tapes, and they start playing each tape he owned. Every tape they find while searching for the needed footage features a terrifying home video camera scene. After they finish watching the tapes, each of them mysteriously starts disappearing. Even though it was a film set in minimal production, the film succeeded in shocking its audience. The first part, which majorly revolved around sexual and physical assault towards women, showed the darkest sides of the world to the audience. The recent installment, VHS 85, which was released exclusively on Shudder in 2023, is the installment that promised to show huge amounts of body horror and gore on screen. The VHS 85, set in 1985, are episodes of a documentary shown to scholars at Stamer University who were studying about a shape-shifting blob. The film is known for developing an authentic way of showing each segment with a story progressing in between. VHS 85 became Shudder's most watched exclusive film premiere of the year. VHS 94, which came out in 2021, stands out in the franchise for being produced in the most unconventional style from the franchise frame narrative. The film was popular for having an episode inspired by the infamous movie Human Centipede. Unfortunately, this part of the franchise received a bit lower ratings from the audience because of its changed style, which is more like a movie rather than raw footage. This installment succeeded in delivering the bloodiest scenes on screen with better CGI and body horror. VHS 2 was the installment that received the highest amount of positive reviews and was a success among the critics. The episode named Slumber Party in VHS 2 stands as the fan favorite, taking rawness and crazy camera angles to the next level by attaching the camera to a dog, a feat that left audiences and critics alike impressed. The VHS franchise is arguably the best collection of experimental movies that deliver gore and horror in a grotesque manner. With the announcement of VHS Beyond, fans are buzzing with excitement for the next chapter in this thrilling franchise. Who is behind the upcoming movie, VHS Beyond. Soon after the release of VHS 85 in the New York Comic Con, the creators revealed that they have the 7th installment lined up for release in 2024 via Shudder Twitter post. The creator, Brad Miska, will be producing this film also, as any other VHS installment, with Josh Goldblum and James Harris, who is known for his producing role in the action thriller movie Fall with Michael Schreiber, and executive producer Adam Borston. Shudder Original Films, Bloody Disgusting, Cinepocalypse, and Studio 71, renowned production companies, will collaborate to produce the project. The anthology episodes in the film will revolve around footage recorded in outer space, giving it a sci-fi influence while sticking to the frame narrative of other pieces in the franchise. The outer space element will provide the movie's similarities to films like Jason X and Leprechaun 4 in Space. In VHS, Beyond, the franchise returned with The Fall of the House of Usher, star Kate Siegel making her directorial debut with experienced writer Mike Flanagan, brothers Justin and Christian Long, and Justin Martinez, who was part of the first VHS film. Just like the other movies, VHS Beyond will be in anthology form with 5 different segments. Episode named Stork will be the first, which is co-written and directed by Jordan Downey, who is popular for his movies like The Headhunt, The Thanksgiving Trilogy, and Critters, which promisingly brought equal amounts of gore and horror to the screen. This segment is co-written by Kevin Stewart, who has worked as director of photography and co-writer with Downey in The Thanksgiving Trilogy and The Headhunter. Looking at their previous works together, this duo promises to bring a seed-edger segment filled with violence to the franchise. The next episode, Furbabe, will be written and directed by Christian Long and Justin Long. Prior to this, Christian and Justin Long worked together on 3 other directing projects: the miniseries The Real Stephen Blatt, the feature film Lady of the Manor, and the short film Trump Baby. Justin Long is known for the roles he played in comedy and horror films like Jeepers Creepers, Dodgeball, and Herbie Fully Loaded. The Christian and Justin Long brothers will be making their franchise debut in VHS Beyond. The 3rd episode is Live and Let Die. Justin Martinez, who co-directed and wrote a segment in the original VHS of 2012, is returning to the franchise as co-writer and director of this episode in VHS Beyond. Ben Turner will be co-writing this episode. The title itself teases that the episode might be related to space dive. The 4th segment of the anthology is Dream Girl, who has Virat Pal as its director. Virat is known for making several short horror films. He is best known for directing the horror film Night of the Bride, 2023, which was critically acclaimed as one of the best psychological horror shorts. The segment will be co-written by Evan Dixon, who will bring his expertise in body horror, and Virat. Evan Dixon has already written horror films like Totem, which is popular for body horror. Included in Stowaway is the last segment, with the name being the same as the 2012 sci-fi movie Stowaway. The plot of this segment might revolve around a spacecraft and its crew. The film will be directed by none other than the top-billed actress in the horror genre, Kate Siegel. Kate is known for her role in the successful horror series Haunting of the Hill House and Ouija, Origin of Evil, both streaming successfully on Netflix. Joining the franchise, Kate will make her directorial debut with talented writer Mike Flanagan. Mike has a history of writing and directing fiction like Dr. Sleep, Hush, Gerald's Game, Haunting of the Hill House, and more, all of which are milestones in film history. With Kate Siegel and Mike Flanagan, who truly know the game, being added to the franchise, boost the fans' excitement for VHS Beyond. Looking at the duo's past filmography, we can expect nothing but a jaw-dropping horror thriller on the screen. At the end of the movie, there will be a special presentation by Jay Cheel, who is renowned for his documentary Cursed Files, discussing behind-the-scenes stories of popular horror movies. We can expect a segment to be related to the history of the horror genre, with a long line of popular creators, now part of the franchise. The release of VHS Beyond is causing a buzz like never before. It's safe to say that this is one of the most eagerly awaited films of the year, with the return of Justin Martinez and new talents like Virat Pal being added to the franchise. VHS continues its long-standing history of collaborating established creators with new voices. The franchise is returning with many experienced stars like Jolene Anderson, Bobby Slasky, Tom Hallam, Matt Trammell, Ashwin Mushran, and Philip Andre Botello, and also bringing some promising new faces like Matthew Layton, Dominique Starr, and Cameron Krugman. The stunts in VHS Beyond will be coordinated by the award-winning stunt director, Paul Lacovara. With Paul Lacovara on board, we anticipate the movie to be filled with heart-pounding, violent sequences. With its new top-billed creators joining hands with power-packed stunt artists, VHS Beyond is expected to redefine horror, violence, and grotesque, while continuing to be the most disturbing franchise of all time. when and where to watch it. As the creators have announced earlier, right after the release of VHS Sixth Instrument, the seventh part, VHS Beyond, will premiere exclusively on Shudder, AMC's horror streaming platform, on October 4th this year. This release is set to make a significant impact on the Halloween season, serving as the grittiest movie this year. The previous installment of the franchise, VHS 85, being the highest streamed exclusive on Shudder. The streaming platform expects nothing but a hit with VHS Beyond. With its new installment, VHS Franchise will return in October to redefine horror. Marvelous verdict. The VHS franchise, which made its entry to the horror film industry with a low-budget setting and few raw found footage, soon established a place in film history. With its authenticity and pitching convincing plots, the VHS franchise gathered a considerable amount of fans and has never let down its fans. VHS Beyond, with its plot revolving around sci-fi, will surely increase its audience for the franchise. The film upgraded its budget and VFX a lot higher than any previous works making VHS Beyond assured to be packed in disturbing horror sequences. So let's get ready to face some nail-biting jump scares and gritty horror stories this Halloween. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.